Welcome to the Merick NH Ulrik podcast special BattleTech edition, my favorite BattleMechs. Today I talk about the Adder by Clan Star Adder, known as the Puma in the Inner Sphere. Enjoy. Hey guys, Merick here. I wanted to talk about BattleTech today, and I wanted to talk about one of my favorite mechs. This is the Adder by Star Adder. Clan Star Adder produced this, and it's a very popular mech in my opinion, because one of the reasons why I love the Adder, or called by Puma by the Inner Spheroids, is that it's a light mech weighing in at 35 tons, and a lot of value for BV. So a lot of times when I play BattleTech, I play with players who play Inner Sphere. And so if you're doing clan mechs with clan 3-4 um, skill levels, gunnery level of 3 and a piloting skill of 4, you're going to be paying a lot of BV. So a lot of times you're going to have less mechs on the board. Like say if you fight against Word of Blake, for instance, you're going to have them. They're going to have a lot of mechs on there with dangerous C3I technology, C3M, C3I technology. That's just going to really it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging if you're using clan BV with clan mechs. Clan mechs tend to be more costly in battle value. So one of the strategies I like is using a light mech like the Adder. Also, as they can also be used to transport uh, battle armor, your elementals. And since this is a 6.9, it's not a super fast light mech, but it has really great loadouts. So you can use this light mech, and it really can punch into up against its weight. It can really punch sometimes to medium mechs and take some devastating shots at a heavy mech. But let's talk about some of the loadouts. The Prime, the Adder Prime, has 2 PPCs, and one reason why I don't really run the Adder Prime is because the cost. It's already at 2,083 BV battle value. That puts it pretty high. So, for instance, I could get a Warhawk B. A Warhawk B. That's a heavy mech, or no, I'm sorry. The Warhawk is a assault mech, and that's at like 1,800 BV. So less BV than the Prime, the Adder Prime. What's it going to have? The Adder Prime has 2 ERPPCs and a targeting computer, making it very deadly mech. But it's going to have heat issues as it only has 11 double heat sinks. And if it fires all its weapons, it's going to be at 33 heat, even if it doesn't move. So you can't be firing the 2 PPCs every turn, or you're going to be cooked. You can try to do that when you get those just really great targeting numbers and your back's against the wall and you need to fire them. Then the next turn you're going to have to lay off at least one of those ERPPCs and get your heat under control. So it's not really my favorite build out, but I mean, it has, for a light mech to have 2 ERPPCs and a targeting computer, it's pretty badass. And it goes 6.9, so it can get out of trouble. Like it can fire some shots and then get the heck out of Dodge whenever it's dealing with a heavier mech that's coming down with some massive firepower. Some of the other loadouts I think are really cool. The I believe, is a variant that has. Let's look at the A model. The Alpha model has. Is that the? Yeah, that is going to be a fire support mech. It's going to have 2 LRM-20s and a flamer and 2 small pulse lasers. But I really think this is a cool build because then you could have a fire support. You can have a missile carrier for only 1437 in BV. That's pretty cheap. So you're not going to have to. I mean, you could have 2 of these on the board, and you'd have 4 LRM-20s basically on the board, and still it's got that 6.9 speed. It's a clan light mech, so the LRMs have no minimum of. It doesn't have any minimum firing range, so it can fire point blank with a or without 1 hex. Now these mechs, the Adder, can go 6.9. They can do a walk of 6 or a run of 9. So they're not like super fast. Like you have other mechs like if you want to talk about like the Dasher, or you're going to find that the Dasher is, can go 15 without mask and 20 with masks. So a lot faster, but it still gets you some speed. But it has more armor. So, for instance, like if you compare it to like the Locust or the Dasher, has very little armor at all. The Adder can withstand, if it gets fired like on its arms, it's going to get it's going to go internal with a let's say you get hit with a Gauss rifle in your arm. It's going to go through. It's going to go internal, but it's not going to blow the arm off completely unless you get a critical hit, and you have to roll for critical. So it could take a large laser to the arm and still be without the armor going internal. So that's a pretty good factor. It still has better speed than a most mediums, but it's not going to be super fast. So, but it has some speed there. So, if it gets close to a light mech, it's going to have way more firepower. I want to talk about my favorite loadout of the Puma. Let's go through some more of these first here. So the B model has is an, I believe that one is also that's like a brawler. It's got a large pulse laser, an ER medium laser. It's got 2 ER medium lasers, and it's got LBX autocannon 5. So that can get a -1 to hit if you load that with the I forgot what you call that, the shot blast. So basically it's like a shotgun in a sense, but it can do 5 damage. That 5 points of damage is the max it's going to do, but it's going to do it in 1-point clusters, I believe. This the LBX 5 is going to be a long range. It's going to fire long range, so you're going to get some massive range on that. That goes way out to let me read this right here. Yeah, the LBX 5 goes way out, so it's going to shoot out to I believe 24. So it's got a long range weapon, and it's at -1. It does have a minimum though, minimum range of 3, and then a large pulse laser is going to get a -1, 2, or -2. So it's a great weapon to have. So you're going to be able to run and still fire off those weapons with some accuracy when you're engaging in battle. And then it has 2 ER medium lasers and a flamer. This one is actually only 1400 in BV, 1422. So as you see, it is a BV cost-effective light mech that's almost a medium mech. It's a light mech, but it's almost a medium. So very powerful. See, the problem is when you're playing against Inner Sphere mechs, they're so much cheaper BV wise. You're going to get pretty much outnumbered quickly on the board. So I think some of these are really good options. You may still want to take your Direwolf and stuff like that, but those are going to break up high BV levels, and you could have some of these light mechs on the board for fire support. I mean, the A version is great. The D version has 2 streak SRM2s, and it has ER large laser, an AC5, and a flamer. And again, this one is the D is only 1255 BV, so that's like a really inexpensive loadout. The C is going to have NARC missiles, LRM-15s, 2 LRM-15s equipped with NARC missile beacons, and medium pulse laser. So I have come to the belief that the NARC missile system is not really worth it, because you can fire indirect with if a mech's been NARC'd with a NARC missile beacon, obviously you can fire indirectly without having to pay for the 1 point of indirect, and you don't need a spotter. So it's like you can get some good rolls, maybe behind cover where you're not going to be shot at. But to get the NARC missile beacon attached to a mech, it's very difficult, because a lot of these mechs do not have very many shots, and the range on the NARC missile beacon is not very good. So like the NARC missile beacon range is, I believe, 12 is long range, and medium is 8, and then short range is 4. So you got to really get close if you want to get a NARC, a mech, or a vehicle with the NARC missile beacon. And what I find is you're going to be missing a lot. And then the good thing about it, when the NARC missile beacon is attached, it stays attached until it's blown off. That section's blown off. So if you can get NARC a head, a leg, a chest, I mean, it's great. But the cost for that, it's just, to me, it's not worth it. What I like to do instead for indirect fire is load up my light mechs like a Dasher or a Puma or an Adder with some elementals, and drop them off closer into the battlefield, put them on a hill or something, and they can actually spot for indirect fire. Infantry has no movement modifier, so when you're adding in, of course, you have to add in the extra 1 point for indirect fire. That the one modifier for indirect fire, but you don't get any movement modifier for your spotter. So if your missile boat's standing still undercover and your elemental is out there spotting for you, you can get some decent numbers to roll for indirect fire, and you're not sacrificing weapon space for that narc missile beacon, and you can almost do it every turn, because if they have a line of sight on a mech or a vehicle further out than their range, even, they can be doing indirect fire for you and not getting that movement modifier. So they can be jumping around and being more defensible, but you can have some indirect fire laid down. So I like to take, you could even take the A, or I believe it's the A that has the missiles, and use that as an indirect fire weapon. You could use, they have a lot of different systems too. The Puma E, that comes out in 3060. It has 4 micro pulse lasers and 2 advanced tactical 9s. But remember, advanced tactical missiles, you cannot use them for indirect fire. But they have some cool different ranges. So you can use the high explosive rounds, which cause 3 damage each, but they're short range. You can have the standard one, cause 2 damage each, and their range is pretty decent. And then you have extended range, which go out really far, and they only do 1 point of damage each. So you can use the different weapon systems for different conditions. So like a 9, ATM 9 would do, with the high explosive, would do 27 damage if everything hit. And they also get the 2 to the roll because they have the ATM 9 or ATM missile system has the built-in the Artemis 4 technology, so that they can do the +2 on the cluster roll. So that's a fun build out. There's a bunch of others, other variants. So there is, I really don't really go into BattleTech after 3070. I just haven't gotten into it. But they have the 3125 variant. That is, they have the I. The I has improved heavy large lasers. There's a variant in the, I think it's the H, that came out 3060, 3070. 3059, and it has the heavy large lasers. I personally don't care for that. They have the overheating issues again with the PPCs. And heavy large lasers, even with the targeting computer, they get that releases that negative modifier with the targeting computer, but the range isn't that good, and you get some extra damage, but you got to get in closer. There is the K variant, which is another Dark Ages mech, I believe, and it has ER large pulse laser and a rotary AC2 and a large AMS system, anti-missile system, laser AMS system, and has a flamer in the center torso. It's not a bad build out. That's not really bad. That's and that's only looking at 1281. Again, the BV value on that is pretty cost effective. It's not too expensive. The T is another Dark Ages one, and it's from 3142, and that is the one with ER PPC capacitors. So that's just another new weapon I'm not really familiar with because I don't play that era, but I believe it does more damage and more accuracy. And then the Adder L, it has Streak LRM 5s, 3 of those, and it also has an ECM suite. So that's pretty interesting, but it's not really my thing, to be honest with you. It has like 4 LRM 5 Streak SRM, but they only hit, all of them hit if they hit. So that's kind of cool, but I haven't used those. But I want to talk about the variant of the Adder that I really like the most. My favorite Adder is the Adder S, the Puma S or Adder S. And what I love about this loadout of this mech is it has 4 medium pulse lasers, which are great for shooting on the run. And then it has 16 machine guns. It's just so much fun to fire 16 of anything. Some of them are going to hit. And then it has a flamer, and it has an anti-personnel weapon. But I just freaking love these 16 machine guns because they don't do any heat. So you can fire them all, not worry about heat. And just crazy things can happen. You're going to have to get in close because it's long range is 3 hexes is long range, medium range is 2. But with a 6.9, if you played game right, you might be able to get some back shots. You might be able to sneak up on somebody and fire away with those machine guns. And I just freaking love unloading 16 machine guns into my opponent's back. Now, they might call it Desgra, but my clan, I use Hell's Horses, Ada Galaxy, and I think the Ada Galaxy are pretty much They just they used the clan honor code lightly. They were the Ada Galaxy. You should read into some of those. But yeah, it's one of my favorite mechs. And the S2, like, so if you're playing against Comstar or playing against Word of Blake, you're going to have the ECM. You're going to have, that one has an ECM suite, which can neutralize the C3 3I, C3M technology, so they're not getting those crazy two roll numbers with just one mech sticking its head out and getting all close to you, and then everybody's shooting with a better targeting roll. So you can break up their C3M network with your ECM suite. So I love it. I think it's a good mech to have, and it can do some real intense damage if it gets close enough. You want to keep him running, though. You want to keep that mech running the maximum you can, because at a run of 9, you're going to be doing you're going to be getting a modifier of 3 to hit, and you're going to, of course, you're going to be running, so you're going to get a +2 to hit for you, but you're also going to have a defensive 3 modifier for your movement modifier. But something to keep in mind, you got those 4 medium pulse lasers on the Puma S or the Adder S, so you're getting a -2 to hit, so that's going to help you, that you're going to be running the whole time, because it does have more armor than a Dasher, it does have more armor than a Piranha, it has more armor than a Locust, but it doesn't have heavy armor. So you're going to want to, it's got 12 in the arms, it's got 12 on the torsos, left and right torsos. It's got 16 in the center torso, and it's got 14 on each leg, armor-wise. So I think that really helps. Now, the back, you definitely don't want to get in the back. Center torso rear has only got 6 armor points, and the left torso and right torso on the rear have 4 armor points. So you definitely want to keep running and make sure you don't get somebody behind you where they can shoot at your back. So, but yeah, this is really fun. Anytime you can roll 16 dice to shoot machine guns at something, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, even when I'm at long range, I still like to roll them because it doesn't do any heat. It's just now I will say this, with the machine guns, you are open up to ammo explosions, but the machine gun ammo is all in the arms. So if you're lucky with the case, you're not going to get any engines blown off when you get an ammo explosion. It's just going to blow that arm off. You're going to lose half your weapons because they're all in the arms. So if one arm goes, half your weapons go. The ECM suite is in the left arm, but it's a really cool. There actually has machine guns in the left torso. It has machine guns in the right torso, but only the ammo is in the left and the right. So left and right arm. So, but this is one of my favorite mechs, is the Puma S, and I also like running the missile boats sometimes. But sometimes it's just more fun to bring the Kraken and the Bane 2 with bringing 8 LRM 15s, and that's just so much fun. Anytime you can roll 15 of anything, roll 15 dice. So I use my box that I shake up. It's like, yeah, I think I've shown it before. I use this sucker. 16 machine guns, boom, or 8 LRM 15s. A lot of fun. But anyways, I hope you guys check out the Puma, the Adder by Star Adder. I'll show some pictures and stuff in the video, but that's one of my favorite mechs. So one of my favorite mechs to play in BattleTech. One of my favorite clan mechs. It's a light mech. For the BV, you get a lot of punch for it. So that's what I like to think of. Like when I'm playing, especially when I'm playing against an inner sphere combatant, I want to have the best bang for my BV, and I feel like that Puma S, the Puma A, even the Puma Prime, kind of. But to me, that's a little bit pricey because I could get a Warhawk for that price. So I'd rather have a Warhawk B than have a Puma Prime. That's in my opinion, or the Adder Prime. So, anyways, I hope you found this video entertaining or interesting or helpful for your BattleTech game. I hope you check out the Adder by Clan Star Adder. It's pretty much available all throughout the clan. So, like, you can find them like the Puma S. All the Pumas up to are pretty much available through 3070 by Clan Hell's Horses. Most of all the clans had them, and they're even available for mercenaries. Mercenaries bought them from Clan Star Adder. So yeah, Clan Wolf, Clan Steel Viper, everybody had these. So yeah, check out the Adder by Clan Star Adder. It's a 35-ton mech with a 6'9", a walk of 6, a run of 9. They don't have any jump jets except for maybe one configuration, but I haven't seen that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So check out the Adder. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. One more thing I forgot to tell you about the Adder. The Adder, this is a 3D variant, 3D print. So I got this and I painted it. It's kind of a rough, it's kind of a rough paint, but it's, I'm learning. I'm getting better. But you can find the Puma or the Adder in the Mercenaries box set. No, excuse me, not the Mercenary box set. The Clan Invasion box set. It's in that. Or you can buy it on Iron Winds Metals, I believe. Or you're going to have to get a 3D print. Like, this is a 3D print version. And I would like to get some of the Catalyst variants. But that's, in my opinion, it's only found in the Clan Invasion box set. So you get one in that. So if you want to buy one of those, I'll put a link on my website where you can get the box set of the Clan Invasion box set. It has some cool maps and things, and you're going to get a lot of cool mechs with that. So I believe you get the Adder, and you also get the Cougar as well. So those are kind of similar mechs. We can talk about that next time. But anyways, enjoy playing BattleTech. Please leave your comments below. You probably have some insights on the Adder that I haven't mentioned. But yeah, it's one of my favorite mechs, and I just like the Adder S is just one of my favorites. It's just the 16 machine guns and 4 medium pulse lasers. Just so much fun. You gotta blow something up with 16 machine guns. You're gonna hit some criticals. You're gonna hit some crazy stuff. You might get some headshots too, and that's gonna really mess up some pilots' day when they're getting hit with machine guns in their head. So it's gonna make them roll a roll to make sure to consciousness roll. So that's one thing that's fun to do. Anyways, well, I'll talk to you later, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick video about one of my favorite mechs, the Adder by Clan Star Adder. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Merick Ulrik podcast. Please like and subscribe to this channel and join us next week.